but trust the process because this is working, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're kind of specifically talking about task rehearsal today, I guess, but there's other aspects to rehearsal which are beneficial. So broadly, if you think about rehearsal as mental rehearsal, you can mentally rehearse where you want to be in 5 years, and that's got its own specific outcomes and its own way of kind of helping you achieve your goal. We've got this thing called chair flying. So this is kind of rehearsing a specific task that we're about to go and achieve. We've got this rehearsal where we're taking our group, our team that's been put together for a certain role, and we're practicing that role. So when we say rehearsal, it's quite broad. There's a very broad scope of things that word rehearsal means. In as far as rehearsing tasks, I want to go back to something you talked about there with your triathlon guys and how you'll train for contingencies. I was just reading again the story about Michael Phelps preparing for the 2008 Olympics, where he was trying to go in there and win, like 8 medals. His coach was getting him to rehearse contingencies. And one of the contingencies was what happens if your goggles fall off, your goggles fill up with water. And sure enough, in the final of the butterfly, the men's final, his goggles filled up with water. And he's been interviewed about this multiple times. But so what did you do? Like your goggles are filled up, you can't see the line. He's like, I remain calm because I've been through this over and over. Both he'd actually physically practiced and he'd thought about this happening, and he'd thought about swimming calmly and fast without being able to see. And that day in 2008, he won the gold medal for the butterfly. So I mean, the research is absolutely unequivocal. You can't not be convinced by the research of how rehearsal will improve task performance. Very, very big. I've used all aspects of it, the long-range visualization to achieve long-term goals. Of course, I've used the short-range stuff. You mentioned that you still rehearse missions. Every 6 months, I have to do a simulator check, which is, for those of you that aren't in the world of aviation,